Welcome to Nightique. I'm Edward St. Pé. Well, for this evening's show, we get to meet the person behind Hasan Drums. It's an African drum corps. The young man who is behind it, Jerry Jenkins, goes to Mississippi schools and promotes and instructs on the ancient art of African drums. So we'll meet Jerry Jenkins and we'll hear a live performance of the drum corps next on Nightique. Stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages. Ingalls Shipbuilding is hiring electricians, structural welders, machinists, ship fitters, pipe fitters, and pipe welders in our Pascagoula, Mississippi site. Signing bonuses available for pipe welders only. Positions are union represented. Come build your career with Ingalls Shipbuilding. Go to www.huntingtoningalls.com/careers or call 888-935-1507. Well, Jerry Jenkins with us. Jerry, nice to see you. Nice to meet you. From Hasan Drums.
Right.
So, okay, now you are with the Mississippi Arts Commission, and you're one of the artists that visit schools, and in your case, you show kids about African drums, right?
About African drums, African culture, African American culture, as they both are incorporated. Also, like you were saying, when I go into the schools, I integrate the art form into the Common Core curriculum or whatever curriculum. Sometimes it's just giving the students an arts experience. I also do interactive storytelling. So that encompasses bringing our audience into the story as we create a community that basically gives them a representation of what African culture is.
Now, would you say, from your experience, there's a new appreciation for, the cultural heritage of Africa and how it relates to America and American schools? Are you finding that?
I believe there's a great appreciation because I think most mankind come to understand that we have to be in our dealings with each other, we have to be diverse, knowledgeable, and accepting of other people's differences. Because and when we move away those things that we call our differences, we always find the commonality of the familiarity. We go back to family, what makes everybody really connected. And I think through African drumming, storytelling, it actually helps people to see that there's no great difference, that we find that commonality in all cultures.
Right. We think in terms of like when we hear the African drums, and we were talking about it before we went on the show. It's a primordial thing that goes through all cultures. All cultures have drums, and and you get back to the beginning, the beginnings of man. I mean, it's pretty deep.
Yeah.
And it really is.
I think how that if we put in an example, the first instruments that human beings had was the clapping of their hands, the stomping of their feet, and their voices. So those was the instruments that mankind first had. But what happened was when those artisans evolved and their ability to express themselves evolved, they took those three sounds and they placed them on an instrument. A djembe can be like your piano. It's not just a percussion instrument. It also produces a melody when it's played properly. So you have some people think, oh, just get the drum and beat the drum. We don't beat the drum. We play the drum. We listen to the drum. We even communicate through the drum. So I think when we were talking earlier, I think that the rhythm of the drum beat actually is a reflection of, like, if we talk about our heart, and also sometimes the way that we we think. You know, we learn through rhythm. So if I wanted my child to learn the ABCs, the best way for me to learn and to get them to learn it is through song or through rhythm. So instead of saying A, B, C, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And so now we get amazed when our little children can hear that alphabet song and they're able to repeat it and sing it. So I believe it's very much tied, rhythm and the beat of things is very much tied to the way humans learn and the way humans express themselves.
Right. And you know, it's really it's a beautiful thing. What you're saying is true. You know, and so when you go into the schools, what do you find? I mean, when you go into schools, the little children, do they know much about Africa, or are they interested in Africa? I mean, white and black children. Do you find they have an interest in the African culture?
I think more or less with the children, they have an interest in what's presented right in front of them. And I believe that that's an important start for developing an interest of something bigger than the individual or just one instrument. So even with, I remember one school that I went into, because of the way that I was dressed, a student started laughing. It was an African American student. And one of the other students kind of made them shy off when they asked the question, "Are you from Africa?" And I tell them, well, all of our descendants originated from Africa. I'm African. You can look at the clothes that I wear and see a part of it is Africa, but then you look down at my jeans and my pants, and then you see a reflection of my American side. So I'm an African American. But when the children start hearing the music, and when they was able to understand it, if I'm speaking in another language, Susu or Malinke, and they're not understanding it, it makes them withdraw a little bit. But when you give them the understanding of it, then they are able to say, oh, okay, I can relate, I understand this, and it's not a thing that makes them feel unaccepted. So I think the children initially are just interested in the presentation, but that presentation helped open their minds to have a greater interest in what is Africa or who are African American people.
You know, I mean, Africa is such a big part of America. You know, I mean, the two are intertwined, and so I think, you know, it's great to be introducing, you know, African culture into young people's curriculum, because it's something that's very important for children to understand at a young age. You know, to see the universality of the culture, you know, and how it fits into our lives in America. Oh, yeah. Because it's such a big part of it.
It's a big part of it. Even if we go back before we look at issues like slavery and some of the things that we see are influenced through the culture, you know, we can go back and see how even some of our marriage ceremonies originated from traditions or cultural things that happen in Africa. Just like one story I could tell you, we play a rhythm called Dumba, and it really means like the happy mother's rhythm. And the reason why we play this rhythm, after the daughter is married, and she goes and she basically spends the night with her husband for the first time. She wears all white. And in the morning, the piece of a cloth is hung outside of the door of the husband and the wife's new home. If that clothing is red, then everybody knows that the young lady guarded her chastity, that her mother helped her protect what was most valuable to her, and that was her character and her husband's, I guess, her husband's potential, but the belief that his wife is someone he can guard his possessions in his absence. So when that cloth is red, we play a rhythm that would last up to a week, celebrating the mother and also celebrating the daughter. So we ask, why do women wear white to their weddings? This is one of the traditions that came out of Africa. But you know, over time things change, how people may view it. Even some of the things we find in our judicial system, our banking systems, like words like qadis, judges who used to reside over people and make decisions in their communities. Even now, how, you know, all our mentors, if we look for mentors in the African culture, if I'm looking for a mentor, I don't look for a mentor my age. I don't look for nobody my age to help guide me in life. I look for somebody older, knowing that that person who is older has lived the life, has studied the life, and they are best to help guide me through the life.
Yeah, you know, a lot of cultures outside of America revere the elders.
Right.
I don't think we do in America so much, but we should, you know.
We should.
Because you're right, they're the ones that know because they've lived through it.
Right.
But you know, I'm from New Orleans. I grew up there, you know, in the New Orleans area, and so there's a pretty strong amalgamation of African society, you know, intermixed with the American culture there because there, of course, the slave trade there, and a lot of folks came from Haiti in places, and of course that's where voodoo came in to the mix, and all of those cultures sort of got mixed together, you know.
Together,
it's like gumbo, you know. It's sort of like that. So there, I mean, you see a pretty strong African influence in the culture of South Louisiana, you know, mixed in with the French culture, you know, with the Cajuns, you know.
When I first started learning to play the djembe drum, and the djembe drum is a traditional instrument of, we say, you can say, to keep it easy, simple, the Mandib people. These the people who speak a common language, and they originated from Mali, and they migrated into parts of West Africa. And a lot of those was brought over in the French term that's commonly used as mandingo. When I first started to learn, I actually went to New Orleans to learn.
I'll be. Yeah. And yeah, well, today you are with us tonight. You are going to play the drums, the African drums, and also you brought some young people with you. Tell us about the young people.
I have with me today Tyler Hickman, Raha Maxwell, Amini Alubala, Michael Bell. These are all students that I have met since the time that I have been residing in Jackson, and some of them, when I came, they was learning of the drum, and so basically a lot of them now have entered into a mentor program or apprenticeship program where they're learning the mastery of the drum, how to tune their own instruments, make their own instruments. They're learning the songs, the stories, the traditions, and also the business aspect, because artisans in African culture was businessmen. They didn't perform for entertainment. This was basically either they were Jolies, this was an artist that was a way of life where they kept the tradition of the people alive through oral storytelling. But the oral storytelling was accompanied by rhythms. Even like the wedding ceremonies, there was hardly any place in African culture where you didn't see the drum, even if it dealt with religion or politics, the drums was there.
Now, anyone that would like to find out more about what you're doing, I think the Facebook page is a good connection source for you, and there it is, Hasan Drums.
Yes.
So you can Google that, and the Facebook page will pop up, and they can reach you in contact.
They can reach you in contact, or they can reach me by going to the Mississippi Arts Commission website and look up performing or teaching artists. I'm there listed under both Jerry Jenkins as a performing artist and Jerry Jenkins as a teaching artist.
Very good. Okay, well, when we come back from the break, you're going to bring your group out. We're going to hear some authentic drums, African drums,
you're going
right?
to hear some authentic drums.
Okay, good. All right, well, Jerry, we're looking forward to it. We'll be right back with Hasan Drums after these messages. Stay with us.
Since 1849, Carter Jewelers has been a part of Jackson's rich history. Over 163 years later, we've not only survived, Carter Jewelers has flourished. From generation to generation, we've established a tradition of excellence. Our reputation is built on customer satisfaction, service, and trust. Every piece of jewelry is handpicked, so you know you're getting the best value.
Nobody says I do like we do at Carter Jewelers.
Come see us and be part of our history.
Since 1849, Carter Jewelers has been a part of Jackson's rich history. Over 163 years later, we've not only survived, Carter Jewelers has flourished. From generation to generation, we've established a tradition of excellence. Our reputation is built on customer satisfaction, service, and trust. Every piece of jewelry is handpicked, so you know you're getting the best value.
Nobody says I do like we do at Carter Jewelers.
Come see us and be part of our history.
Ingalls Shipbuilding is hiring electricians, structural welders, machinists, ship fitters, pipe fitters, and pipe welders in our Pascagoula, Mississippi site. Signing bonuses available for pipe welders only. Positions are union represented. Come build your career with Ingalls Shipbuilding. Go to www.huntingtoningalls.com/careers or call 888-935-1507.
All right, Jerry Jenkins, and this is Hasan Drums. It's a complement of students. Some of them have participated in an apprentice program that was funded by the Mississippi Arts Commission. Raha Maxwell, he attended the apprentice program. Michael Bell is going through the stages to be able to attend the upcoming apprenticeship program. Tyler Hickman, he's one of the apprentices on the program. Both of them are playing, all three of them are playing djembe drums. And the larger drums, we have Amini Alubala, and he is playing the doom part. We're going to play the next rhythm that we're going to play is traditionally known as a rhythm called Funga. And the reason why we play Funga is it's a reflection of our African and our American tradition. Some of us tell the story of Funga. The Funga rhythm was being two people who was warring against each other, and they came together for the song Funga Lafia.
I'm Dr. Quinn, and I believe in the power of exercise. Many patients ask me if they're going to get high blood pressure or diabetes because their parents had these conditions. I tell them that we cannot control our genetics, but we can control our diet and level of exercise. Practicing healthy decisions result in a better outcome. I'm Dr. Quinn, and I want you to remember that you have control.
That's Hasan drums. Thank you, Jerry. Jerry Jenkins, thank you for the great work you're doing in the schools with the Mississippi Arts Commission.
Yes.
And good luck with everything in the future.
All right, thank you.
And here's the Facebook page. It's Hasan Drums, so people can go to that site and they can get in contact with you.
Go to the site and get in contact with me, or find me also on the Mississippi Artists Commission website under their Performing Artists and Teaching Artists roster.
And thank you, kids, for coming out and performing with us tonight. And we'll see you next time on Nightique.